What's up, children of the sun? This is your spiritual nomad, Montre Bible. Yes, that's my real last name. And I'm going to be sharing my 2 cents on this video that Black people can't have escapism. All right, so just trying to see. I think it's talking about that new film coming out, the American Society of Magical Negro. So let's check it out, see what this guy's talking about. No one sees us consumers who want to escape reality like everyone else. Okay.
I know you can feel their discomfort, Aaron. Watching you walk through a room full of white people was the most painful thing I've ever seen.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Have you guys heard about this movie, The American Society of Magical Negroes? It seems okay. I don't know. Let's see.
I want to take you to a job interview. There's a recruiting class starting right now, and we got to get you in it.
Welcome to the American Society of Magical Negroes.
I don't really understand.
It's easier to say. What's the most dangerous animal on the planet?
Shark.
White people, when they feel uncomfortable. White people feeling uncomfortable precedes a lot of bad stuff for us. That's why we fight white discomfort every day. Because the happier they are, the safer we are.
The name needs a little updating, maybe like magical black people, or I guess that doesn't have the same ring.
You know what? I think I've just come to terms with it. Black people will never have escapism.
Okay, so with that being said, um, I already kind of know where this conversation is going. Is that escapism is about fantasy, about having a movie that's about magic or superheroes that doesn't involve racism. And it's like, can we do that? Can we have TV shows that aren't trying to put out a message about something, that aren't trying to talk about something? Can we just have something that's solely about us in a fantasy world? Like, totally. Or do we always have to be incorporated or added on to like another genre? Can we have our own thing that's completely fantasy based and that's not talking about race or white people? I get it.
Never.
You just answered it.
All right, look. When I first saw this, let me do the intro first.
Okay, do the intro.
What is up? My name is Mario, aka the Loot Box Hero, aka the real Super Mario. Check out the main channel because the main channel is popping, aka YouTube's greatest fat man here. Okay,
I'll put a
do
link to the
intro,
video
right?
in the description.
When I first saw this, I wanted to rant. I wanted to get in front of this camera. I didn't care how darkly lit the room was. I just wanted to get in front of this camera and rant. Okay. But no, I was like, ranting doesn't work. All right. You know what I'm saying? If I came on here and I yelled and I cursed and I said a whole bunch of stuff, people are just going to find a way to make fun of you like they did heel versus babyface, even if your points were right. So I'm like, nope, I'm just going to tell you why I unmitigatingly hate this stupid movie. Okay. Of course, if you want to continue getting more videos like this from me, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. But yeah, so
And this guy has a lot of subscribers, or he's only got I think 100 subscribers that I saw, but he's got thousands of views, which he's doing way better than me. So, hey, go subscribe.
American Society of Magical Negroes is a movie starring Justice Smith, who I like. I liked him in the Pokemon movie, the Pokemon, the Detective Pikachu movie. I liked
I have
him
never seen
in
him.
The Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Oh, he
I
was
think
in
he's
that.
pretty cool.
I didn't watch the whole movie.
I don't know why his manager decided to put him in this movie, but hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It stars Justice Smith as a regular black dude, mixed race black dude.
Mm-hmm.
And so another black dude basically takes him to become a magical Negro. And magical Negroes, no, this is not like the Compton version of Hogwarts.
And okay, nothing against any of the black actors because I know Black Hollywood trying to get a mainstream movie is hard. I'm not going to blame David Allen Greer for taking this movie. I kind of want to support it only for the black actors, but also I'm already kind of getting a bad taste in my mouth about the movie being solely about racism and and that the number one enemy is the white man. I mean, come on, y'all. This is America, and at some point, yeah, people. There are going to be always people in the world that hate you, whether it's for your skin color or your gender or your sexuality or your religion. But you can't let that hold you back. Okay, you got to keep on pushing and keep on moving on because you are focused on a higher source. And if you say I got God in me and I've got God watching over me and protecting me, then who's against you?
This is literally magical Negroes. All right, they use their magical powers to keep white people comfortable, so that I guess they don't like
Have problems.
snap and like kill them or something. Oh, and there's a side plot, or like a part of the plot is like he falls in love with this possibly white lady.
She
You know
doesn't
what I'm
look white.
saying? But it's his mission to hook her up with this other random white dude who is depressed for some reason. And so, being magical Negro, he has to hook him up with the chick so he's not depressed anymore. But he really likes the chick and he wants to hook up with the chick. But
So I don't know if you've heard of the magical Negro trope. Let's just stop it right there. The magical Negro trope is the black person in every movie that helps the white main character become better. So you see Will Smith in movies like this. Morgan Freeman's done movies like this where he's the good black person who's like, hey, So it is a play on how Hollywood has used black men in the past. It's usually black men. It can be black women too. Um, I would say it's a little bit different when it comes to black women in movies, but with black men in particular, if he's going to be a hero character, he's usually helping out another white character. So I get it.
if he hooks up with the chick, then all the other magical niggas lose all their magical nigga powers. Bro, I'm like, can we please have escapism? All right. Why can't we have just a regular story? All right. Why? So why is it whenever there's a black main character in the story, it's always gotta
Not white
be
people.
about a stereotypically black story about his blackness and about white people.
Hmm.
Like, just tell a story with niggas in it. That's all you gotta do. All right. Like, look, at this point, I would want nigga Seinfeld, black Seinfeld, a show about nothing, but it's got black people in it.
And we have these shows. We've had these movies. I mean, the entire 90s was about black movies, and I didn't see white people involved. Boomerang. Um, think about it. We had so many movies back then that weren't about slavery, weren't about racism. It was just about love, romance. Look at through all the 90s and the early 2000s black movies. I don't know what happened to Black Hollywood, but it redirected.
At this point, I would take Black Seinfeld over these movies, bro. All right, I am tired of struggle movies. I'm tired of struggle movies. I'm tired of civil rights movies.
Hmm.
I'm tired of daggone black exploitation, black revenge movies. Some 120-pound black chick transports through time to
And
go and kill Confederate soldiers, slave
that's called
holders, or
trauma
whatever.
porn.
I'm tired. I'm tired of black trauma movies.
Trauma
I'm
porn.
tired of these crap-tastical black movies, and I'm trying to be cool, but I'm tired though. It's just stupid.
Everybody is.
Like, why? This could have been like a cool, edgy comedy. That would have been great because I like edgy comedies. All right. When I saw the title "Magical Negroes," I was like, "That's gonna piss some people off. That might just be funny." No, all right, no, and I'm just like, it doesn't even have to be like this. Let's talk about something else, right? Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg is one of the greatest Jewish, probably the greatest Jewish filmmaker ever. and he's one of the greatest filmmakers, period. Okay. All right. Guess what? He made one Holocaust movie, Schindler's List. That was it. He made one. He said what he had to say about about one of the worst times in the history of being Jewish. All right. He said he did one movie, he said what he had to say, and then he kept on going. All right. And then he turned around and made some of the greatest movies ever. He created,
E.T.,
he helped create
Gremlins.
the Hollywood blockbuster. Now imagine if he was like black creators. All right. And instead of just making Schindler's List, he turned around and made Schindler's List 2. Then he made another Holocaust movie. Then he turned around and followed that up with with The Hiding Place 2, The Revenge of Anne Frank, where a little Jewish girl named Anne Frank in 2023 gets teleported through time by a time machine that she got from Ben Shapiro to go back and kill Nazis. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine how goofy it would be?
Yeah.
If one of the greatest filmmakers ever just stopped making good movies and just made Holocaust movie after
I get it.
Holocaust movie after
Yeah.
Holocaust movie, that's what black creators do.
Making
Black
struggle
creators
movies.
cannot think outside of the problems of black people. And here's the thing. I'm not saying we have to stop making a struggle movies, okay? Because there are some stories of the struggle that need to be told, okay? But can we at least try to make something different?
Okay, so this is what a lot of people are talking about wokeism. And wokeism in Hollywood. Not wokeism as how black people originally, because black people originated that term being woke. But Hollywood has uh, stolen this term and used it as a means of exposing, I guess, what we need to work on. And when it comes to anything, whether it's feminism, racism, sexism, um, um, homophobia, transphobia, everything has to be about these topics. The message, you have to put the message out. So when it comes to putting out a black movie, now no longer will Hollywood greenlight a movie that's simply about black people having fun or black people having a good time or black people in a fantasy world. It has to be about, if it's going to be solely just black people in the movie as the main characters, then it needs to be about the struggle. If it's about a movie about women, it's got to be the struggle of women. If it's not about any of that, if it's a movie mainly about white men or white people, they need to race swap everyone to put in the message. So this is what wokeism in Hollywood is about, and why people are talking about it and getting really tired of it. And there's a lot of movies I just won't watch because of that. Because it's just like, oh, you guys are not only preachy, but you're over exaggerating an issue that doesn't need to be over exaggerated, and creating more of that problem because they're focused on that problem versus the solution. And the solution is simple, really, but you got to figure that out.
Than just struggle movies? Because there's more to being black than just, oh man, you know what I'm saying? It's another racist white bully character. Oh man, it's another racist white Karen I have to deal with. Oh man, I gotta
There was a
deal with the
movie called
whole
Karen.
racist
Did y'all
societal
remember that?
system. Like, there's more to being black than just that. And I'm not talking about let's shove black people in the white people stories either. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's what I was
Black
talking about.
people can tell cool stories that aren't black stories.
I am a writer. I wrote a book, several books with black characters going through supernatural stuff. Go on Amazon, check out my books.
And you can have black people in them. Okay? Steven Spielberg had Jewish people in his movies. You know what I'm saying? And look at Hayao Miyazaki. Hayao Miyazaki, I think he made what? Let me see. As all the Ghibli movies, I think maybe one or two of the Ghibli movies actually touched on World War II Japan. And guess what? All of his other movies, you know, some of the greatest anime ever, have been completely different. He didn't get stuck in, oh man, the problems of Japan. You know what I'm saying? And look, He even took some of the movies about the problems of Japan. He took those problems and made them into fantastical movies that you can still escape into.
But this isn't the problem with black writers. It's about black writers trying to get jobs. And this is what Hollywood is asking for. This is what white Hollywood is asking for. They want black creators to create these things. And so black creators feel like, well, um, if I want to get this job, I need to create stories like this. So I don't blame black writers for creating stuff like this. I blame white Hollywood basically because they want the struggle bus. They want to see slave stories. They want to see um, us talking about how bad everything is because that's what they talk about. If you sometimes now I feel like the sometimes white people uh, talk about racism probably more than we do now at this point. I mean, there are some that that's their only. There are some black people that only talk about racism, but there's more to life than that. My whole life does not surround about around white people. I deal with people of all nations. I work online and I talk to people from many countries, and pretty much everyone's pretty cool. Like no one's like, oh, I don't want to talk to the black guy. I I do feel sorry for a lot of Indian people though.
He talked about those issues while escaping reality. He's a freaking genius. Maybe we're just not giving the reins to the right people. All right, maybe we need to stop going after hoteps and HCBU people and all these like Hasidic intellectual niggas and find a regular person, a regular black person, all right, to do these movies. Maybe that's what it is.
I'll write it.
Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to just start giving these movies to regular niggas. Because a regular nigga could be like, you know what? I got an idea for a movie. And it wouldn't be something stupid like this. But one thing, though, all right, one thing that saved this for me was the dislikes. This proves that I'm not alone. This proves that I'm not just one lone fat black man screaming into the void. So let's check out the reactions that people had to this on Twitter. I thought we was getting niggas of Waverly Place, not the literal magical Negro trope. Now, I will admit
Yeah.
that the magical Negro was in the title, so I mean that's kind of what they were going to give us regardless. But I understand. I thought it was going to be Black Harry Potter myself. Which of you
So we want a
PWI
black Harry
blacks
Potter.
making that magical Negro movie? No, don't try to blame this on white people. I don't even try to do that.
I
Okay,
already did it.
This was a black-ish fellow that made this movie. I
That's
think the
true.
best way to counter the
That's true. He's a black-ish person. He's half. He's but still his experience is going to be different from everyone else's. And sometimes it seems that people who are mixed seem to be the most loud when it comes to black issues. And maybe it's because they have issues with their identity of, where do they fit in? Hey, I'm fully black and I still have like where do I fit in? But it's not because of me being black. It's just, you know, I may not be as hood as everyone else, you know what I mean? But that has nothing to do with being black. That's just me being a nerd or a geek. And there's plenty of black geeks and nerds. I think it's just me being a neat nerd, a blurred. Is that what they call us? Or being a geek? Is that oblique? I don't know.
the magical Negro trope is to make fewer movies where black people enable/foster a white protagonist's personal growth, and more movies where black people help each other. Like black people helping to enable or foster the growth of a white character is not that's not a magical Negro. Okay, that could be a black side character, a black friend character. All right, that's a very open-ended statement right there. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand what you're saying, but this right will eliminate tons of black side characters, and it will basically segregate movies,
Yeah.
which is worse than what we have now. They could have put this on Tubi. You know what? This probably would have been a cool Tubi movie. I ain't
It
gonna
would
lie.
have been a
Some
cool
of the
Tubi
movies on
movie.
Tubi Them jams be wild. This could have been a really
Have you
good
guys watched
Tubi
Tubi?
movie.
I love Tubi.
Not to mention, it would also be free, so that would be even better. See,
Tubi
I
has
knew
a lot
something
of
was
black
off.
movies, man. Tubi has a lot of black movies, which I, you know what, support Tubi because they are paying black cinema that may not go mainstream. Yeah, let's support Tubi, y'all. Let's support the black folks making movies. Some of them are bad, but some of them are good, and you would never see them if it wasn't for Tubi. Praise Tubi.
Off when I read the title Magical Negro, but the trail is on some BS advocating the ease of white people through magic. See,
Yeah,
this is
it's not
my
gonna.
issue with black people. My issue: black people cannot have anything without tying a bit of racism to it. EX Lovecraft Country. I forgot about this show. Oh my
Wait,
god!
I loved Lovecraft.
I could do a whole video on Lovecraft Country, bro. I'll just give you a little bit of a
Okay, okay.
rundown though. Lovecraft Country is a show, a HBO show based off of a book by some soy blooded guy, and he basically took a little bit of Lovecraft, like that cosmic horror, and made a race story where black people had these magical powers and the white people got magic, and then they tried to use their magic to kill this one black dude because he was a black descendant of the slave man that tried to open up a
Lot.
portal to the Garden of Eden and all this.
It was a lot of stuff, but at the time period that they put it in, it made sense. Like if black people had supernatural powers, well, if we always have supernatural powers. If but it's talking about a fictional story about black people having supernatural powers like in the 50s, I would say 60s, 50s, 60s, and what would happen? And how do you what would happen, And I I actually liked Lovecraft Country. A lot of people did. If it was done in modern times, hopefully it wouldn't be all about race. But yes, it's heavily racial. And there was another show that came out on Prime called Them that was supernatural horror. I hated that one on the same level, but I hated that because it was trauma porn. It was all about racism, completely about racism. And I was just like, do you just want me to be upset? So I don't like things that emotionally manipulate me. But this one was Lovecraft was good. Yes, it was about racism, but it was during the time that it was set in.
This crazy stuff, but most of the movie is just it's just like civil rights movement, and it's this white chick going reenacting Emmett Till because we need masturbatory material for hoteps or whatever. Like it's like they wasted a perfectly good premise. This could have been Harry Potter meets Indiana Jones with niggas, and they wasted it. The best episode of that show didn't even take place in America. It was the Korean War episodes. That's how bad it was.
Oh,
Magical Negro hits
I remember.
theaters in March 2024. Well,
I don't think it's
between
gonna do
this and
well.
the Civil War movie, the Civil War, we talking about
I've
Civil
heard
War
about the
movie.
Civil War movie.
Kind of
That's not
Civil
gonna do
War
well
movie you
either.
talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? This spring is gonna be
Okay, so listen here, y'all. And I've already done a tarot reading on 2024. You can go back and look at that. They're gonna try to divide your mindset. Okay, they're gonna try to get people, society, the people in power are going to try to manipulate your mind to be a certain way. They want you to be divisive. They want you to hate your brother. They want you to hate your sister. They want you to hate your neighbor. Okay? They want you to be divided. You have to consciously choose to say, you know what? These movies are propaganda. These TV shows are propaganda. This news I'm watching is propaganda, and I'm going to reject that, and I'm going to embrace the greater all, the universe, the one, and I'm going to be one with myself, and I'm going to be one with everyone around me. Love your neighbor because your neighbor is yourself. We are all a part of the great spark of God, and there's no reason to hate someone.
fired. It's laughable. Anyone who does not believe that all this is coordinated. Oh, So you one of them people. See, you just stirred up the real crazy people now. Thanks, ambiguously black, brown, black man. You know, but there is some light in this tunnel. All right, there's some light in.
You know what he reminds me? Yeah, not the big dude. The guy, that picture of that guy. Let's look at this guy. Have y'all seen they clone Tyrone? Now they clone Tyrone was another movie that I enjoyed that was racially motivated, but it was funny and it was a very conspiracy theory type thing. But there's a conspiracy theory in that movie about the, how this guy is. And I'm not going to spoil the movie for you. Watch They Clone Tyrone and come back and comment about this guy and about how he plays into the overall picture of how black people think, because there was a little comment on They Clone Tyrone about guys like this.
You know, but there is some light in this tunnel. All right, there's some light in this very very dark tunnel. Of course, from Reddit of all places. This one person says, I know what the trope is, but I'm also tired of everything with us having to be social commentary or trauma porn. I just
Trauma porn, I just
wanted
said
a
it.
silly little film about black people doing magic, and that's why it's disappointing. And that's probably what other people who feel let down are
I
feeling
agree.
too.
I agree with
And
that.
I'm like, you know what, random Redditor man, I feel you. I feel you, cuz. Not to mention, imagine if they made a movie, Magical White People. Magical White People.
Magical
I
Caucasians.
imagine they made that movie and it was just a bunch of white people using their magic to.
But that's like every movie. Magical white people. How many movies do we have about magical white people? How many TV shows do we have about magical white people? Millions. White people always make TV shows and movies about them having magical powers. Uh, we are the ones who have those powers. We are the ones who have the ability to make magic. White people learn that stuff from us. Can we be serious? They learned it from us. Really, they did. Yeah. And there's something to be said about that. I know we're frustrated about what's being put out and we want something more. But like I said, 2024 is about manifesting that and then going about what you love and going for focusing on what you love. Yeah, you can be upset about it, but instead about being upset about it, be about it. Let's be creative and create our own stuff and say, all right, screw society and what they're giving us, and let's create our own stuff and put it online. Let's put it on YouTube. Let's put it on whatever platform, and say, hey, y'all, here's something. You know what? I know black people, especially us, we can be very critical and not like things. But if it's good, it's good. And the money will come. The money will come. Let's just start putting some creative energy out there and don't sell yourself short. Don't sell yourself out because you want the mighty dollar. Because there are going to be some people that are going to want to water you down and say, well, let's push this message. Anyways, I'm going to put the link to this guy's video in the description. Support that brother, subscribe to his videos. And remember to make your reality happen because if you don't do it, then who will? Talk to you guys later.